Hey, I'm Bob Sixx, and this is Sixx Day. Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss saying no and being told no. It's kind of foreign to me, I guess. I don't know if it's just my family. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. But to me, now that I'm older and I see stuff, I think I benefited more than my friends that grew up in the Brady Bunch families, where everyone lied, regardless of what you call it, white lie or whatever. Everyone lied to save each other's feelings and that kind of shit. In my family, if you did something fucked up, you were told, hey, that's fucked up. Or if you didn't want to do something, I don't want to do that. It seems today, especially with the younger generation, and it's like the younger they get, the more they are. And both of my kids, if they don't want to do something, they'll fucking tell you straight up no. So there is hope, and I'm not saying everybody's those people that won't say no, or they'll just, let me get back to you, and they never get back to you. Or they'll just straight out lie. I mean, if you tell a good lie, oh man, I'd really like to, but I got a doctor's appointment that day, or some shit like that, I'm cool with that. I figure 90% of the time, you're lying, but at least you respected me enough to lie to me about it. As odd as that sounds. But in life, sometimes the answer is no. And sometimes you have to be the one to say no, and other times you have to hear the word no. I can't count how many people have contacted me over, I'm coming up on 13 years with my pen business. How many times friends will contact me and be like, oh man, I'd love to have one of your pens. And I go through the whole process because all of my pens are custom made specifically for you or the individual. You pick the color, you pick the pen kit, you pick the finish on the pen kit. It's made. So I put a lot of effort into making sure we pick a pen for you. Because my goal with my pens is for people to love their pen that they get. They're completely happy with it and that they use it. So I try to make them really comfortable. But I have friends contact me. Friends. I'll go through the entire process of getting them to pick it out. And they pick out everything they want. And when I tell them the cost, even at a discounted cost, because I give my friends and family a discount, they're like, oh, let me get back to you on that. If it's too much, say no. I've had people expect shit for free. My family doesn't get my pens for free. They buy my pens. Most of them buy it at full price. They don't want a discount because they realize what I put into it. I don't get offended when people say no, and I tell people that. When I do, well, friends and family, when I do this pen thing, I tell them in the beginning, if it's too much, just say no. Or I can't do that, or not right now, now's not good. Something. I mean, you can lessen this. It doesn't sting me, but as far as talking to other people, you can lessen the sting by saying, oh, yeah, now's not a good time, or something like that. And you got those pricks out there when somebody says now's not a good time. Well, when is a good time? Now, don't do that to somebody. I've learned over the years, and I know for the most part, I'm very rarely wrong when someone gives me the blow off. I accept it for what it is. But when you ask me and I go through all this process, I put all this work into, and that's not even actually making your pen, and you just choose to just stop talking to me, just not respond to messages, that's something else. And it's the same thing as saying no. If you send someone a message and you know they read it because on social media it tells you they've seen it, and they don't have the common decency to, hey, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you, or some shit like that, or, you know, we're not that kind of friends, you know, we don't need to be talking to each other, we're just strictly Facebook friends, I like your post, you like my post, that kind of shit, then say that. Just not responding is bizarre. Now, granted, some of mine may be OCD. I have to answer the phone. I have to know who's at the door. I don't have to open the door, but I do have to know who's at it. I always respond to messages. Always. Text, messenger, however it is, I always respond. But sometimes it's no. If somebody contacts me and I don't want to talk to them, I tell them, hey, you know, we have a professional working relationship and we need to keep it like that. Or we're just Facebook friends. And the only reason we're Facebook friends is because you're a friend of a friend and you think I'm funny. But, you know, we ain't taking it past that. I'm very private. I don't invite a whole lot of people to my home. I can count on I probably need both hands, but I have some fingers left over on how many people have an open invitation to my home. Come over anytime you want. It's not that I'm a dick, I'm just, my home is a sacred place to me. So I don't want a bunch of people in my home. And it's not that I'm antisocial or anything like that, that's not where it needs to happen. I went to a person's house. This is all in the saying no. We were childhood friends and hooked back up as adults. And he said, well, we'll have y'all over to eat sometime. And I just, because I'm the kind of person, if I say, hey, I'm going to have you over to eat, you're going to hear from me. And if I can't pick a good date that's good for you or we're going to hook up, that's cool. But I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I messaged him and said, hey, well, we're still going to get together to eat. He's like, oh, yeah, sure. Well, I knew when we got over there, it seemed kind of awkward. But we ate. The food was good. There was nothing wrong with it. But we don't eat a lot. None of us do. In my home, we don't gorge ourselves. You know, once in a blue moon, you might slip over, oh, have an extra piece of cake or an extra slice of pizza. Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have ate that. That happens. But I mean, on the norm, or in the norm, we don't eat a lot. So we went and ate, and we complimented her how good the food was. And she's like, well, there's plenty more. No, we're good. She got upset. Now, she didn't say anything directly to me, but he let me know a week or two later how offended she was that we didn't eat more. This is one of those situations where it's say no. Why would I gorge myself or stuff myself to where I'm uncomfortable if I don't normally do that? To save your feelings? I mean, what kind of attitude do you have where you feel that, oh, well, my God, if they don't eat till they're sick, they don't like it? That's bizarre. But you got to say no. I mean, if someone was going to stick something in your ass, wouldn't you say no? I mean, if you paused too long and said, well, you might end up with something in your ass. Saying no is a part of being a grown-up. Sometimes you have to say it, and sometimes you have to hear it. I don't get upset when people say no. I very, very rarely ask anyone to help me do anything. Because there's always, you get the blow off, or they just don't respond, or they come over and half-ass it, or they, why did you even come? Say no. I've had friends, and I know one for a fact watches my videos. He can tell you, he was trying to be polite. Super nice guy, was trying to be polite, and he was like, well, I said, dude, if the answer's no, fucking say no. He goes, well, if you have to have the answer right now, no. All right, he goes, well, I'm really sorry. There's no need for sorry. If you can't do something, or you don't want to do something. I mean, if somebody asks you to come over their house and help them pick up dog shit, or cow shit, or whatever the shit is. If you don't want to do it, why would you do it? And don't say, well, that's being a good friend. No, it's not. If you willingly go over there, which I would, because I'm that kind of a friend, I'll help you. But if the answer is no, you don't want to do it, say no. Don't go over there and half-ass it. I mean, the person knows. On that other side, you have to be able to hear no. I mean, sometimes it's just no, and I don't understand why people have such a hard time saying No. It's give and take. You got to say it, and you have to be able to take it when somebody tells you no. As I always say, the sun does not rise and set in any of our asses. The world doesn't revolve around any of us. People have different things they want to do with their time, that they don't like to pick up shit. I don't like to pick up shit, but if you're my friend and you ask me, you obviously need help because there's probably a lot of shit. I will come help you. I hope this doesn't make a bunch of people. Well, fortunately, a lot of people don't watch these videos, so I don't have to worry about getting a bunch of text messages. Hey, man, we need some shit picked up. Most of you will hear no. Anyways, so that was what was on my mind today. Well, it's actually been on my mind most of this week because I see that happen so much with adults, grown adults. I'm fucking 51 years old, and when I see someone my age or older that's afraid to say no, or they get butthurt because someone tells them no, that just blows my mind, man. It's not rude. Rude is not responding or the blow off. That's rude. So just remember, boys and girls, sometimes it's no. Sometimes you're the one saying it, and sometimes you're the one hearing it. I'm hoping I kept this fairly short, because as y'all know, I can't see the little screen, so I don't know where I'm at. Maybe I should put a big timer up here. Anyways, I'm fixing to amp this shit up. Next week, I'm going to cover racism. And I'm going to get pretty blunt about it. I'm not going to be slinging around racial slurs or anything like that. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But a big problem in the United States that people are calling racism isn't racism, it's classism. It's the classes, your wealth, your financial standings in life. Also, what's compounding the racism problem in America is the media that's exploiting it to keep everyone worked up, and you assholes out there that do faux racism. By that I mean, you're at work fucking off, not doing your job, and your boss tells you to do your job, and you start screaming, "Oh, that racist motherfucker!" It's not racism. It's telling you to do your fucking job, you piece of shit. It also, those people that run around screaming at, playing that race card all the time, what that does is takes away when someone actually does experience true racism. They have a true case, a true reason to be upset. But because you got all these people running around that are screaming it every fucking time you turn around, this person who has a genuine case gets blown off. That's fucked up. Anyways, that's a little taste. That's the mild taste. Next week will probably be pretty intense. I appreciate the 30-something of you that watched, that still watch. I appreciate you that have subscribed and are still there. If you haven't subscribed, it ain't gonna hurt anything. That don't mean you gotta watch my videos. Just subscribe. I need subscribers. All right. Until next time, have a great day. Make someone laugh if you can. I am Bob Sixx. Peace.